and rolling camera, action!
Rolling.
Don't shoot! Easy, mate, easy, we're friends.
Just hang in there, don't leave me now. We need some artillery support down there now!
Red noise. We need artillery support in area 142. 7. Over.
Good. Section 7, over.
Hey, brother James. Slow down, dude.
You've got to help me. You gotta get this to me, brother James. Oh, slow down now, who? James Hawthorne. Please help. I will. I promise. Thank you.
For real now, ready?
Okay, yep. 3, 2, 1. And...
That's a wrap!
Did you say gangster?
One more time.
It's all here, Jack. Everything we need to know to find the treasure.
About that, what's the treasure?
Stolen riches, Jack. We're talking gold, diamonds, and religious artifacts from all over Asia.
So let me get this straight. Your brother hears about some stolen riches hidden away by the Japanese and then finds some map?
Exactly. Don't you get it, Jack? This is what we always wanted as kids. The adventure of a lifetime in pursuit of buried treasure.
As cliche as that sounds, it does seem like a good time.
The Adventures of Yamashita's Island is a film and story that I developed around the fall of 2015 and started working into a script in the beginning of 2016. And it's basically just a big collaboration of films that inspire me. I've always wanted to make a period adventure piece.
When Durand first posed this idea to me, it was when we were both working at the LISD Tech Center. And it made sense. Durand is somebody that's very interested in Spielberg's films and action, adventure, epic, blockbuster type of stuff. And this is very much emulating that.
Well, my son Duran pitched the idea of this film to me. I recognized the challenges that we were going to have to produce such a film in Michigan. I mean, it is based in the Pacific Ocean on an island, and Michigan doesn't quite meet those conditions. So I could see the challenges there and the challenges of bringing this many people together as a crew and cast to produce such a film.
Let me tell you, it's an adventure in itself, being able to put this movie together. So far, we started in the summer of 2016. We started with shooting the Institute scenes, where the hero of the picture, he gets a journal from his long-lost brother, and that journal ends up being basically the map to the treasure in the movie. And it was some nice footage, but it was all the footage we were able to accomplish. And eventually one of the actors that was in those scenes, he could not continue on the next year. And so we were left with just a 13-minute snippet of the film and what it could be. And it was important, though, because we used those 13 minutes to help sell the film to other people, to other cast members, to crew members, to help show them what this movie could be. And we even held a little film festival fundraiser.
And it was a really fun experience. We brought props, costumes for the attendees to try on and put on and take pictures with. And then to see Duran's progression of his films that he's worked on throughout the years, you know, on a big screen.
Right. And this leads where again?
Northwest of the Philippines. I'm assuming there's a small island out there in the vicinity, not on any other map.
So a big thing I knew from the beginning with this movie was that locations were going to be absolutely key to bringing this production together. You know, it takes place on a jungle island. So I went to my dad, who's helping produce the film.
And my response was, you realize we're in Michigan? He says, yeah, but we need a jungle. So I began searching for anything that resembled a jungle and ultimately found something in kind of northeast Ohio that fit the bill. We scouted it in person, and it definitely it transports you to an island in the Pacific.
The jungle we're going to, I actually went with Duran, the director, and his father, Dale Pape. And what was really cool, it was really like walking through a jungle, but it was in our backyard. It has rocks and trees and vines and cliffs, and it's just really, really cool to sit there and walk around and actually see it and experience it, and knowing the summer that I get to go back and reshoot it and feel like I'm in a real jungle.
So it was definitely something I didn't know that existed in Ohio, and it will, I think, bring a huge value to the film.
The two students volunteered by Dr. Powell.
More voluntold. Roland Wilson.
Okay, the casting process. So when you're in a position where you have an ensemble cast, which is another big feature, it's not just like one or two or three people go on an adventure. It's like a group goes on an adventure. So you got to find people to play this group, and then there's a lot of shoes to fill.
You bring them, you audition, you share the script with them, and you decide that, I think you'd be a perfect fit for this character. And, we did some test footage, we took pictures in costume, and, we read lines, and I think it was really great. And once we had that final, that's the cast, this is the cast, we started scheduling a little bit.
But honestly, the director that's open is actually nice because, he has his own priorities and stuff, but he works around your schedule.
It became very apparent that it was going to be a monumental task to schedule 10, 20-something-year-olds all together to be able to make this movie. We had 2 shoots with all 10 cast members, and we had 1 shoot where we redid the Institute scenes.
When we went back and I was helping Duran shoot the scenes, approaching the lighting was something that was much more clear in my mind. And if you could see the original scenes that we shot to the new ones that we have, I think they're just better in a lot of aspects, but the lighting is certainly stronger in the latter as well.
Perfect. Let's set sail.
Another location that I knew from the very beginning that I wrote into the film, that these jungle explorers, they needed a way to get to the jungle. They needed a way to the island. And so the best way to get to an island, especially back in 1946, would be a tramp steamer. And I did a little research, and I was able to find that there is a early 1900s Great Lakes freighter that is permanently docked for a museum down in Toledo. And it's called the SS Schoonmaker. It used to be the SS Boyer, and it's now owned by the National Great Lakes Museum.
We did a location scout on that to get the lay of the ship, as it may be. Something that became apparent, the director wanted a shot with the cast arriving in an antique truck. So I had to take the task of contacting the city of Toledo and arranging to have the parking restricted at that location.
They had someone who gave us a one-on-one tour, and we walked across the deck. We went into the cabins and everywhere, and we started looking around and seeing the bridge, and it was just absolutely incredible that the way they had restored this ship to a point where it looked like it never left the 1900s, basically. And they gave us full reign of this ship. You know, it's a 600-something foot freighter. I found out that it was like, you know, less than a football field shorter than Titanic. So it's crazy to just think that our small little production label of Paped In Pictures was able to, you know, acquire an entire ship for a day.
And it's just kind of cool, but it's also really cool to see the ship and how old it was, and being on such an old ship and absorbing its history, but feeling the life of the ship and how it glows with everything going on around it, which is really cool for a movie.
It was just an awesome location to shoot at, and we really appreciated the staff of the Schoonmaker allowing us to shoot there. It was a location that took you back in time. It was fairly easy to be lost and taken away from modern times, and actually truly stepping back into the 20s and 30s or 40s.
You know, these old ships, these old vehicles, you know, these planes and stuff like that, and you're in these period costumes. It's the closest thing to time travel, really.
You getting all this? I've got the shot.
Being involved with this film has also allowed me to cross an item off my bucket list, which was I'd always wanted to see my name in the credits on a big screen, and that opportunity presented itself earlier this winter when the director arranged for some rough cuts of the footage so far to be showcased to his cast and crew at the local cinema.
Our last shoot was in November of 2017, so I thought it would be very good to, in the time before spring came, to put together that footage and show it to the cast and crew to kind of keep them motivated for the upcoming year.
He showed me an image of Adventures of Yamashita's Island in the queue for the digital cinema, right in there with Jumanji and Spielberg's The Post.
Seeing it on the big silver screen, you know, inside an actual movie theater, it really it made you excited. It made you happy, and it made you motivated to want to do it. And I honestly can't wait to bring the rest of it to the screen.
Basically, what I just want to go over is the first 2 shoots that we're going to be starting with, hopefully, is the most...
In preparation for this year's shoots, the directors held a pre-production meeting, and that went well. It was good to get everybody together and to see them again, and to see the excitement they all have to get back on set again and back in front of the camera. And I think they were all given a little taste of the locations we have coming up this summer.
And I helped put together basically a roadmap of where this production was going and where the finish line was and how we were going to get there. And I think it was crucial to bring us together like that.
Durand being a close friend of mine, you imagine he comes up in conversation now and again. And whenever he comes up in conversation with somebody that I know that like does film stuff, I will explain to them that Durand is currently working on a full-length feature film, which is an action-adventure, jungle period piece with creature feature aspects. And their faces tend to just kind of... yeah, it's a lot that he's done.
A lot of the time, people don't realize the little things that go into filmmaking that make a movie what it is. You know, there's all these little puzzle pieces that make the bigger picture, like certain set dressings or props that were specifically created for the movie that you might not even know were specifically created for the movie, but took a lot of time. You know, we had 9 different characters that go to this jungle, so I had 9 different outfits to procure. And a lot of it just involved going to antique stores, searching up certain things online, pulling out old World War II equipment that I owned, World War II weapons that we have. You put all these little pieces together and it creates something really personal and amazing that a character and an actor will flesh out when they're on scene. And they use all these pieces to really, you know, help sell the look and the style of the film. And I just absolutely love it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I sometimes do have to ask myself why I keep doing this. I've been involved with all of Durand's films up till this point, and the days are stressful, they're long, they're tiring, but there are moments that just like on the ship shoot, that I could pause for a moment, especially after the sun went down, and just take in the whole environment that I was in, and realize that takes us to places that I probably would have never gone otherwise.
Being on a film set is something I never thought I'd be in at all, because I'm quiet and shy usually, and I've grown out of my shell a lot. So sitting here and having someone go, yo, you want to be on a movie, kind of turned everything around for me. So like with the set and stuff, there's a lot of people who I never thought I'd talk to, I'm talking to.
It's sort of, you know, an adrenaline rush when you're on set. You're sitting there, you've got to get all of this down. You've got to get the different scenes that you need done shot, because, you know, you only have your actors and your crew for a certain amount of time before the light in the day disappears. And there's a part of that I love. I love being on set. It's where I feel the most at home.
It is where I feel I am at my best as a person. I feel like I'm the most useful and the most skillful, not among the people there always, but of what I could be. It just feels like where I belong.
And it's just a lot of fun. I get to meet new people, I get to hang out with people that I've had fun with in the past, and every film shoot, like I said, it is stressful, but it ultimately is a lot of fun. And it's fun to see on screen what is ultimately created. And at the same time, I get to share that time with my son, the director.
Actually watching the set and being there is like watching a Broadway show. You can't take your eyes off anything, but at the same time, you can't watch everything at once. It's magical.
So something that Durand was very focused on for this documentary was creation, and the idea of creating an adventure, creating a film. And Durand has put endless thought and energy and consideration and organization into making sure, as well as he can, that every detail of every costume, of every set piece, every line, every prop, everything has been conducive and organic to that story. And we're not done yet. We're gonna keep going, and I think we're just gonna get better at this as we go along.
And looking forward to the summer to actually take a location that's Ohio and make it a jungle on an island in the Pacific. That's what, you know, filmmaking gives that opportunity to take a step out of reality for a moment and create our own reality. And I find enjoyment in doing that.
And it's all of these art forms that are all brought into this one thing that you can take in and observe and be pulled into all at once. And it's creating this world and this story that connects you with something else, connects you with the creator, and connects you with everyone else. And it's fantastic.
Being on set with this movie, I noticed a lot of people do actually care and are excited for the ending and the final product. So it's just nice to see everybody work together.
And that's another reason I love making movies, is it just brings people together, and I couldn't thank him more for it.
And I'm really excited to see the final footage on screen and to see the director bring his vision to life.
I want to be someone who can help bring stories to the screen for people to enjoy, because I just feel like cinema is one of those amazing opportunities for people to work in, because they're really all magicians in their own. They all help create this magical illusion on the screen where we get a piece of this story that started in somebody's head, and now we're laughing, we're crying, we're enjoying it, and sometimes, you know, you even leave with being a better person, you know, being smarter. You know, it can change your life sometimes. It's just such a powerful tool that we've been given to create something like this, and I absolutely love it, and there's nothing I'd rather be doing.